Hi, I'm Jim Gray. Welcome to video number 2 in my 4-step marketing process called Platforms and Media. In this video, we're going to talk about taking that unique selling proposition that we were talking about in the first video, taking that unique selling proposition and beginning to disseminate that message through the marketplace. Before I get into the discussion about platforms and offers, I want to talk about something called the buying spectrum. The buying spectrum. Basically, this is the process that a customer goes through in thinking about your service to buying your service. Does that make sense? Most people don't necessarily just simply wake up one day and say, hey, I need this. It always starts with the, hey, I need this. Then they think about it, and then they eventually buy. We use like the alphabet to illustrate the buying spectrum. A being, it just dawned on me, I'd sure like to dig a pool. That would be cool. All the way to Z, which would be for those buyers that have plunked down their money and there's excavating equipment in their front yard digging a hole. Does that make sense? A is, hey, I'd sure like a pool. Z is, I'm digging a pool right now and I've paid my money. And then each letter in between A and Z is some point on the buying spectrum. Somewhere, and as that person moves down the buying spectrum from, hey, I'd like to buy a pool, or hey, I'm thinking about having a pool, to I'm thinking about buying a pool, I'm gathering information about buying the pool, I'm talking to different contractors that dig pools, I'm now talking to my bank about a loan. See what I'm saying? As they move further and further down the buying spectrum, they're getting closer and closer to making a choice as to which merchant they're going to use. Most advertising focuses on the Z-scale buyer, that person who's ready to buy today. Why? Because that person's got their hand in their wallet and looking to give that money to somebody. So that's a valuable person. I totally understand that. Here's the problem with that thinking. What about all the people who are further up the buying spectrum? The smart business owner understands that those people are valuable, and the smart business owner focuses on gearing their advertising to talk to those people as well and to nurture them down the buying spectrum. Because here's what happens. If you, as the business owner, are that person that gives that prospect the information that they need to make an informed buying decision, it's likely that person, when they get to that, when they're at the Z point in the buying scale, it's likely they're going to choose you. Why? Because you've created a relationship with them. You've given them valuable information that's helped them make a decision. See what I'm saying? Most advertising, and let's continue on with the pool contractor example. And let's say a pool contractor was sending out postcards. Most of these postcards say something like, hi, I'm a pool contractor. Here's a picture of a beautiful pool. I've been in business since Abraham Lincoln was president. You know, this is a family-owned business. We're really honest and we try really, really hard. And you should buy from us. Please buy from us. So what does that tell the prospect? We've been in business a long time. You know what that prospect probably says? Well, I should hope so. It probably says, hey, we're really honest. The prospect probably goes, well, I would hope so. Hey, we make really great pools. Well, I would hope so. See what I'm saying? These are all things that any buyer would expect any reasonable business owner who, you know, dug pools for a living. These are the features and benefits that anybody would expect. Here are things that that prospect probably would like to know. How do they pick a pool contractor? What is important? How does getting a bank loan work? Where's the best place to put a pool? What kind of pool should they choose? What are all of their options? What's the most cost-effective way to put in a pool? How does one even negotiate with a contractor? I bet you know, if you were a pool contractor, or you know your customers, you know all of the questions and concerns that they have when they're looking for your product. Here's what we like to do. We like to make sure that we help our customers be the provider of all the valuable information having to do with their goods or services, so that as people come down the buying spectrum, when they get to Z, they will eventually pick our client. Does that make sense? So these free things that we're offering, these free offers, could be a CD, a DVD. You know, it could be a white paper, it could be a coupon, right? It could be a free recorded message. See, the idea is we want to take your conversions, which are probably very, very small, right? So you put out a piece of advertising, right? And it basically says, hey, I do this. Will you buy from me right now? And the answer most of the time is, well, I'm not ready. Here's what we want the advertising to do. Hey, we do this. We're awesome for all of these reasons. And what I'd like to do is offer you some additional information that'll tell you exactly what you need to know when you're thinking about buying something like this. And we make it really easy for that prospect to get that piece of valuable information. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is, once these people have essentially raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested, we then put in place what we call a drip follow-up system. You've probably heard that term. When those people call in for their free information, their CD, their report, their DVD, their coupon, their white paper, we then follow up periodically with additional valuable information that helps these people along the buying spectrum. You can be that source of all the valuable information that your prospective customers need to know to make an informed decision about your product. So think about that. Let's say that you're in 5 different mediums. You are on the radio, you are on TV, you do have a website, and you do direct mail. What if all of those platforms were pushing through an offer that talks about your company using the unique selling proposition, but at the end of it, it's not, hey, why don't you buy from me? It's, hey, let me tell you some more valuable information using this free DVD. And here's what's really awesome about this. All of this can be automated. Do you see what I'm saying? All of this can be automated, and that free thing that you're giving away, the report, the DVD, the CD, that actually becomes an additional platform. It becomes essentially a much longer commercial for your product or service. Does that make sense? So people hear a very short commercial, TV, radio, internet, on the website. They ask for more information, which essentially is information, but it's information that acts as an advertisement, a further advertisement for your company. And what happens is, instead of one person coming into the store, if you will, saying, well, I'm interested, you will get 10 people who've raised their hand, said, you know what, I am interested, and these buyers fall all over that spectrum. And what you're doing is, you're identifying people at the Z level, they'll buy right away, but then you have also captured people on the A through Y part of the spectrum. Does that make sense? And you're able to follow up with them on a periodic basis. So while your competitors are beating each other over the head trying to get those Z-scale buyers, what you've done is you've captured all the A through Y buyers, and you're nurturing them down the spectrum. And trust me, when these people get ready to buy, your company will be at the top of their list. So the unique selling proposition, we take those media platforms that you're currently using now, we put through them a series of powerful free offers that get people to raise their hand and say they're interested, and then we put in an automated process to follow up with those people to nurture them down the buying spectrum, so when they get to that Z place, they reach into their wallet and they give your company their money. All right, hope that was helpful. I hope you stick around for video number 3, where we're going to talk about deploying the marketing arsenal, and that's pretty exciting stuff. Thanks again.